That set in for me when I did a show in Thunder Bay, Ontario, which, being from Montreal, but actually I was leaving from Ottawa. I was with a mutual friend of ours with Hannibal,
Okay, yeah,
Devin Nicholson.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So went to go meet him in Ottawa, which is only about, 2 hours from where we are here in
yeah.
Montreal. And we thought, okay, the show's in Thunder Bay. He's putting on the show, but I guess he didn't realize how far it was. We're going to GPS it. We probably will be there. We're thinking maybe 8 hours, 10 hours at most, which to go from Montreal, let's say, to Nova Scotia, I've done that drive on a couple of occasions, about
Yeah.
14 hours.
Wow.
It's actually 9 if you cut through Maine, go through the border, go through Maine, through New Brunswick, about 9.
Really?
But yeah, but there's a big body of water there. So it's, if you don't want to go through the States, it's about 14 hours. From Ottawa to Thunder Bay, it was 21 hours.
What?
Yeah. So we're sitting there, middle of winter, and we're like, we could just, go to Florida and it would be
I
less
know.
distance to cover.
I know.
And we saw like bears and moose and all these things. It was dead of winter. Crazy drive.
I remember Johnny Devine doing like a Thunder Bay show. Like, so I've never in my life been to Thunder Bay, but I just remember him doing a show, and where I don't remember where he drove from. How far is Thunder Bay from like Toronto?
It would be a little. That would be about another 4.5 on top of like the Ottawa distance. So yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Like he was, I was pretty sure he was like traveling from somewhere in Ontario. And he said, man, to get to Thunder Bay is like, 18 hours or something wild. And I
Yeah.
was like, the same province. Like that's just how spread out and how big our provinces are. And each province has like, in terms of major cities, one or two.
Hmm.
Like Alberta has two, Saskatchewan like kind of like Regina and Saskatoon, but they're not giant cities.
We have two.
Like
We have two also, being that we have Montreal and we have Quebec City. And
correct.
I think we're the biggest province in terms of diameter. So yeah, we have two cities also.
Yeah.
That's what's insane. I know in the States, in my time there, every time I'd hear someone say, oh yeah, let's say, for example, I have a show in Rhode Island and then I have a show the next day in Maine. And in my head, I'm thinking like I'm almost doing like, let's say, Quebec to Manitoba, but
Yeah.
really it's only a matter of maybe doing about 2.5 hours and
Okay.
then you're there. So everything's so much closer
Yeah.
and tight knit. It's so not like Canada. Um, yeah, just the struggles we have to go through here.
And that weather. Oh
Yeah,
man.
but wouldn't want it any other way. Love Canada.
No, no, no. I love Canada, man. I love it. I miss it. This is the longest I've ever not been to Canada my whole life.
Oh wow. What?
Last September 2019, we had a live event there and in Calgary. And then that's the last time I've been to Calgary. Sorry. I was in Canada about almost a year ago,
Hmm.
February, for we had a live event in Brandon, Manitoba. I was in Brandon.